Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
We've got our two big events this weekend. The Bad Business Beer Fest. That's going to be on Saturday. The weather's going to be nice. I've been following it for the past 2 weeks because I've been paranoid.
Only say it once.
No, we're good now.
I'm kind of superstitious about the weather, even though that's not really a thing. But I do feel
it's perfect.
I do feel like the more you say that, the more this will speed up. And then there's like some horrible weather behind it, and it's like, but don't.
No, the computer models know by now.
All right.
It's already Tuesday. We're good for Saturday.
It's gonna be awesome. If you've never been to a free beer fest, well, you're gonna enjoy it. You gotta have a photo ID. You gotta be 21. Don't bring a goofy ID. Bring a regular, like the real deal.
And if you want to guarantee you get the free sample cup and gift bag, show up there at noon.
Yep.
And then just walk around Sanford. The pouring starts at 2. That's when the live music starts.
Not the rain, the beer.
The beer. Yeah.
Make sure.
It's on a high of 76. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, phrasing.
We've got a lot of our partners out at the beer fest. And
howdy, partners.
One of the partners that's going to be out there is the Orange County Regional History Center.
Yes.
And they are here today to talk about another event happening December 1st. We've got Rachel Williams and Scotty in. How you guys doing?
Hey,
guys.
History! Do it!
So, history in the streets.
Ooh, I like
Taking
that.
it to
History
the
in the
streets.
streets.
So, tell us about what's going on December 1st.
Sure. I'm going to turn that over to Rachel. This is History in the Streets is something that she created. It started as an Instagram post that we do every Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you doing, Rachel?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
So, tell us about, I know it's kind of about Orlando history and how the streets were named, correct?
Yeah. So I came up with this idea because we had a meeting with our executive director about something kind of else about College Park.
Sure.
And then I was thinking, I was like, why are all those streets named after colleges? I didn't understand that, and I was like, what if we bring this to a little bit broader and just do start with Orlando because that's where we're based. I mean, the museum does cover 7 counties, so eventually maybe spreading it out to other counties, but starting in downtown Orlando. So I was like, let's just do history in the streets and learning about the history of our city through its street names, and it's proven in my research to be quite interesting.
Oh, I love that. We say everything's proven and we have no research. That's kind of like where Tom and I...
if you just say it, people will believe you. They're too lazy to research.
But for something tells me you actually have research. But no, you and I have done a few of these when we've done our Greenwood cemetery tours. We've been lucky enough to hang with, I guess, is it former sexton or still sexton... Don Price, and we have learned a lot of Orlando history, and dare I say that it's one of the things that you and I enjoy the most is actually finding out history that we can apply to our own area. I don't know, it just seems like practical history almost. It's like, I do like knowing why streets are named that. I do like knowing why, like the Crest building downtown. I like knowing the origin of that, I won't tell you that now because I don't know it, but I'm just saying, I'll have to take the tour.
Well, we found that it's super interesting, but also super simple. Like, why is this street named Bumby? And it's like, a Mr. Bumby owned a hardware store on the corner, and there's a Bumby, and the street was named that. I was like, okay.
Hey.
And so let's just start with Church Street. I have no idea, but I imagine there was a
church.
There was a church somewhere, and then the townspeople were like, this is Church Street.
Yes.
I can almost guess them all.
I told you this guy's smart.
If it's a last name, then someone owned a hardware store on that street, or if it's a thing, if it's like a magnolia, they're like, this is where a magnolia tree was. And they're
Tom,
and then now it's,
Tom, do you want to take a stab at Pine Street?
I'm going to go Pine Tree.
Just one singular pine tree.
Is that right? Or Mr. Pine, the hardware store. It's hardware store or tree.
Hardware stores.
That's all there was back in the day.
Bumby Hardware, Pine Hardware, Livingston Hardware. No, it's not all. You can't just go hardware or tree.
Yeah, that's all it was.
That's not what this is called. It's called History of the Streets.
No, that's what it was, Rachel, right? It's hardware stores and trees.
Don't let him bully you.
Yeah, don't let him do that. That's the first time time guest, you have to push back.
He'll spread misinformation.
He really will.
So back to Church Street. So was there just a church on Church Street and that's it?
Yeah, so originally, like way back when the town was first being established, it had a tiny like 2-room like kind of log cabin that had that every kind of like religious denomination had their church services in, and then it also had school classes in this little tiny church schoolhouse.
Log cabin.
Basically. And then it just became like that was the church, and then because of its location, that street became Church Street. And it was also the first paved street in the city, paved with bricks.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That doesn't count. I don't think the bricks count. Let's talk about that for a second. Every time my wife has taken me someplace in Orlando, she's like, I'm going to take a shortcut. And it always involves
It's always brick
the
road.
brick roads. And
God,
it
I hate
always,
it.
I am such
rattle your fillings out.
Well, rattle my hips. I am such a weak man that she's driving me on these shortcuts. And we're in this SUV, and it's just rattling me. And I drop my vape pen.
At that time, it's innovative, right? Because before that, people are driving in these dirt roads, and they would get
It's
so
sand
rough
and
that they would
clay.
get up onto the sidewalks, the wood sidewalks, and drive.
Oh, really?
Because they'd get stuck, and it was way better on the bricks. And also now the bricks are like, well, because they're forever old,
Right,
but before
right.
they were laid quite nicely and flat.
Oh,
Well,
right
let's
on.
rip them out now.
Yeah, let's redo them.
Rachel, I'm curious, in your research, have you ever found a street that had really no explanation why it was named that, and then you just had to guess?
Fascination
Like,
Street.
is there a definitive explanation for every street name?
From what I found downtown Orlando was pretty easy.
Okay.
I was trying to kind of prepare a little bit for like, we're in Baldwin Park, and so I was looking around like, why are the street names in Baldwin Park? Obviously, there's certain elements like Baldwin Park, Lake Baldwin, is easier because of the like the Navy Training Center.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
And then also before that, it was like the Army Air Force base, stuff like that. But other streets, like there's like a Jake Street and a Bennett Street or something, and I cannot find why those were named that
The
way.
Jake Street,
Really?
I am told, is named after influencer Jake Paul.
No, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Weird.
Yeah, you'll find that on my tour. You'll find that on my tour. The influencer tour. Yeah,
Well,
I'll
Rachel,
take your...
explain the Baldwin though, who he was.
Yeah, so Baldwin was Robert Baldwin. He was the Undersecretary of the Navy, and I can't. That's another thing. I can't find a connection of why they chose to name him after this area.
Right.
Why they didn't choose like the secretary who was like above him. I don't know the reason for that, but he was the Undersecretary of the military.
That is
Or of
weird
the
that
Navy,
they
sorry.
would choose. That almost makes you feel like there's a story there, right? Like the dude that was above him was in a savory cat. And they waited till he died or got out of office or what, right? And then they were like, no, don't name it on him. That guy's terrible. Name it on the undersecretary. Maybe there's something about that.
I feel like streets and bands have disappointing endings, and I'll explain.
Okay.
And the fact that
Yeah.
we've seen this with a lot of famous bands where and this happens I think with streets too, is that when they first name a street, everything is so small. Right? They just don't care. They're just like, call it whatever. We need to put it on the map. So they just throw out something, and they're like, this is a brand new area. There's still dirt streets. You know what I'm saying? It's small.
Yeah.
There's only a couple hundred people in the town. Like, they don't put that much forward. They don't think that in 150 years is going to be huge metropolis,
Sprawling
and
with-
this
yeah.
street is going to be like huge, and there's going to be millions of people that travel it every year. Because it starts. And the same thing with bands. People are like, hey, let's
Yeah.
call the band this,
Yeah.
and not think like, in 20 years we're going to be the biggest band on earth, and then we're going to be stuck with this
I think about
name.
that like bands like Limp Bizkit and Fall Out Boy. I go like,
Yeah.
you probably don't want that at your peak.
it's just
you
a
probably
goof-
sat in
goof
bed and were
name.
like, man, I wish we weren't named after a Simpsons superhero character.
Yeah.
Like something like that. Like I kind of I get that. Like our handshake, the touching tips
Yeah.
thing. I wish we had a different handshake.
I know. We never thought.
We've outgrown it.
Yeah, we never thought that it would get popular.
Yeah.
Like the same thing with when you name a street, it's just like, oh, it's a small town. Who cares?
Were any of the
But-
streets renamed around here that you know of?
You mean in
In the Baldwin area? It must have
or
been right?
downtown?
downtown? Yes, I don't know about Baldwin. I've done like a way more research, spent a lot more time with downtown.
Sure.
So like again, going back to like I call them like obviously named streets, Pine, Orange, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even though Orange has a little bit more of what than you would think anyway. But for Washington, it used to be called Oak Street because of the oak trees.
Gotcha.
But then it was changed to Washington for Washington Kilmer, who was he actually walked to Florida from Ohio, walked the whole way. But he was a doctor who he lived here, he treated patients here, but then the yellow fever kind of broke out in Tampa, so he went there to treat patients. He got yellow fever. Once he was better, he came back, but after that they named the street after him. So that was changed from Oak to Washington. And similarly, Magnolia used to be called Main Street because it was supposed to be like the main street of the city.
Gotcha.
And then it went to Magnolia.
He walked from Ohio to Florida. Why? Like, did he say why he did that, or?
He was supposed to come to Florida for the climate, for his health, because that was very normal at the time.
Gotcha.
Why he walked, I don't know. You would think that if someone was in like not great health, that they would, take it easy, but I don't know if maybe he decided to walk it out.
I got yellow fever. Just gonna walk it off. Walk it off.
Yeah.
I don't even know what yellow fever is. It sounds like horrible or slightly racist, or I don't know where it's going. But it's like whatever it is, it sounds bad, and you shouldn't be walking to Florida doing it.
Like apparently, like 150 years ago, like people used to go. Like this happened to Doc Holliday. I learned in like Glenwood Springs. He went to Colorado.
I went to his grave.
I was like, this will cure my tuberculosis. Just the dry air. It was like, it'd take more than that, Doc. Your lungs are bleeding.
But you are going to die in a nicer place.
Like
so there is an upside.
The humidity is not going to help your debilitating disease that's eating your brain. It's not going to help at all.
I got lost in that cemetery where Doc Holliday's grave is at. I got lost in the cemetery, and I had to go to the bathroom out there.
They just made that up, by the way. So
it may not even be real. That's why we hiked all the way up there. Then people are like, he's got multiple graves. I was like, well, that's not good.
So with Orange Avenue, oranges are around, and so it's orange. It's like
the fruit.
Peach Street in Georgia. There's a million peach trees. Is that accurate?
Sort of. So again, you would think that because it's like the orange industry, the citrus industry was like booming at the time, but in reality, it's a little bit more geographical because at the north end of the street where it ended at the time ended at an orange grove.
Gotcha. And Magnolia, is that the tree one? I'm gonna get that. It's a tree hardware store.
Nailed it.
Is there any weird downtown street name that you haven't figured out why that it's named that?
We know about Gertrude's Walk. We know that one. We know a lot of those things.
Like Colonial. What's up with that?
College.
What's up with that? So Colonial used to be a bunch of different kind of streets that that were not quite connected, and then I think I forget when exactly they ended up putting them all together and just having them be one continuous street with one name. And I forget the woman that named it, but she named it Colonial because she saw the street to be lined with colonial style homes and this very grand thing, and then that's absolutely not what that street is now.
Right.
But
Now
that
it should
was
be
the
called
vision.
Vape Shop Lane. I don't know. Yeah. Not to say that that's bad, but I make my own juice. I make my own vape juice. No, I don't. I made that up. I don't know. Why would I say that?
How?
I have never made my own. I don't vape. Oh my God!
Like,
this is going horrible.
Every once in a while, they change a street. Like for instance, every time I take Max to his breakdancing class, I turn right.
That's real. That's not a joke.
On Barack Obama Lane, and then I was like, oh, they changed it. But the street is just.
I feel like Barack would appreciate breakdancing, so I feel like that works.
But it's not. I was like, Obama should have gotten a better street than this. It's just like a random street over here.
A newer one, right? It's a newer one.
Yeah. But I feel like they have to do that because to change all the maps and anything else, like they have to give you a side
street.
Like
what's John Young? Who's that?
Yeah,
sounds like an astronaut, right? Doesn't he?
What was an astronaut?
I couldn't tell if you were joking or not. But
no, I don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah, we have no idea. We don't leave this room.
Actually, the Science Center originally was named after him.
The Science Center was?
Yeah.
It was called John Young Center, or
John, yeah,
the
I
John
guess
Young Science Center?
I believe. And then someone wrote a big check and said it should be called the Orlando Science Center, and he said yes. And then the planetarium was named after him after that. But then when they moved to the new building, he was kind of forgotten. So,
oh, what about John?
Who was John Young? You gotta
He
explain.
was the
astronaut.
first person to fly in space 6 times from Earth and 7 times counting as lunar liftoff.
And
No,
he's
that's a
from
badass.
College Park. You can see his house in College Park.
He's a
You can
badass.
see his house from
Obviously
the
not
From the moon.
no longer around. I'm guessing.
From outer space. You
Yeah,
can see
from
his
Alaska.
house.
he's no longer around. I'm
No,
guessing.
no,
Okay.
he's not with
What-
us.
yeah.
any
Well,
longer.
also, old school astronauts, like in the
Yeah.
60s.
Well, they were less astronauts, and weren't they just like really brave Marines? And they're like, we don't know what this spaceship does,
Yeah,
Marine.
yeah,
And he's
yeah.
like, I'll get in it. And they put him in it, and they
Yeah.
just blast him up there. And then
Well, you
sometimes they
see
live,
those
sometimes they
things that
die.
they're
Yeah.
when you see these
Yeah.
crafts in person, it's like it's a tin can.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
people were crazy.
It's more space evil Knievel,
Right.
You know, because like
Right.
they're
Yeah.
like none of this is like they don't know the technology is so. I mean, they're still black and white
Yeah.
TVs.
Well, we talked
You're
to,
shooting someone in space.
We talked to Kittinger,
Yeah,
Joe
Joe,
Kittinger.
yeah.
Right,
We
okay.
talked to him before he passed.
That is
and,
nuts.
And he was basically walking us through like his spacesuit, and he was like, I got up to a certain elevation, and my hand started inflating, so I just put duct tape around it. And no big deal. You know, he was talking about how his hand from the pressure was expanding. Like, didn't he get big fat hands or something? He had to like
Yeah.
duct tape his hands.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
he's just a tough
yeah.
badass.
again,
Yeah.
it's evil. You're doing
Yeah.
a stunt at a certain
Yeah,
point.
like,
Like,
nobody
let's
knows
see
what's
what happens.
happening. I mean, like, you just got switchers. There's no LCDs. There's basically a couple of lights and those switches you get at Skycraft that are scary.
And
you
you,
know?
and your listeners know what he did, the parachute from outer space.
Yeah.
But basically, he held the record for like 50 years
Until Red Bull got a hold
Felix
of it.
Baumgartner.
Yeah.
But then after Felix Baumgartner beat it, then another guy beat it. There was like some
Skydiver dude, right?
No, it was like some like tech billionaire that that just was
you're
like a
right.
novice skydiver, and he's like, I'll beat it because I have the money. Because then
Yeah, you just
because
threw money at it.
It's like
What
well,
else do you have to do?
But
But
well,
Joe didn't do that.
Joe Kittinger, like
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
did it in the it
Yeah.
was like the late 60s
Yeah,
or
I
something.
think he
the
did it in
70s.
like the equivalent of
Yeah.
like a scuba diving dry suit.
Yeah.
Like it
Right.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
wasn't. He didn't have the contraptions. He didn't throw money
Yeah.
at it. He did use like I think real stuff
That's the
like duct tape.
yeah.
And, yeah, it's super impressive and brave.
So let's talk about the actual event, because in this particular event, again, it's December 1st, and for History Center members, it's free. So there's
Yeah.
another reason to be a
What?
member at the History Center. But
That's pretty dope.
so basically, it's you walking around downtown explaining the history of the streets.
Not this time. At some
Oh.
point, it'd be cool to have that.
Okay.
But it's just like a lunch and learn presentation. So I have a really fancy, cool PowerPoint with lots of cool old pictures of downtown Orlando and old people and their houses and stuff like that. And then at some point, I would love to do a walking tour, but that's a TBD.
Yeah. Well, this I feel like it's the beginning of like people coming out,
Yeah.
finding out the local history of Orlando, and then you could develop into
Yeah,
some
yeah.
sort of walking
And then
tours.
after you're
and,
done with
know.
the walking tour, you can get one of those pedal tiki bars.
No.
that people
Oh,
love.
yeah.
Oh, a pedal tavern?
Yeah, a pedal
Oh.
tavern. See, I knew she was super smart, and she's like, "Oh, a pedal tavern." I didn't know they were. Did you know they were called pedal taverns?
I heard the pedals don't do anything. It's
They
just an
don't.
electric
It's-
motor in there. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so you pretend.
Yeah, just put your feet on them, Gertie.
They're like, no way these drunk people can generate enough power to push this heavy bar. Anyway, also you sit down and have some lunch and learn some history of Orlando.
Yeah.
You
Very
can
cool.
either bring your lunch or it can be included in the price, so we can have it there
Okay.
waiting for you. You can also, the other cool thing about it is you can watch it online thanks to Orange TV, which is, I was out sick last week and watched one from
nice.
home, so you can do that as well.
Awesome. And easiest way is just go to the website day of.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to get lunch, you need to do that by November 30th. We need to
Okay.
put in the orders
Lunch
for
must
that.
be ordered by 9 a.m. on Thursday, November 30th. It is general public with lunch is $14. If you just want to bring your own lunch, it's only $5, and otherwise it's free to attend. And if you're a member and you bring your lunch, it's only $9. So
Oh wow.
go to thehistorycenter.org. All the info's there.
That's
Just click
awesome.
the
Yeah.
events tab.
And we do these monthly, and it's a different topic each time.
Oh, that's
and-
cool.
And varies the different topics. The last one was about different icons that were in downtown Orlando.
Did you talk about Tom and Dan?
One day, I mean, in
That'll
the
be next
future,
time.
Yeah,
the
I want to
history-
prepare now.
Yeah.
To go into the
Ooh, and
History
do a
Center.
panel.
Dude, we should ask the History Center to put our bodies in the History Center when we die.
I don't know. If they
There's
wanna do
nothing
that.
more historical than that. That's when you hit the jackpot of
Yeah.
history.
But then
They're
we
like, look
end
at
up-
these fat podcasters behind you. Look at it. Oh, he's all dried up.
Where we end up in the warehouse.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this, yeah.
Scotty's like, don't go back there.
They're like, there's too many podcasts. To start, what does it matter anymore?
End up thrown out. I'll end up thrown out like an old Kit Kat and Harold and Maude sign in a dumpster somewhere.
Rachel, Scotty, thanks so much
Yeah,
for
thanks,
coming by.
guys.
We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Always
Yeah,
a
thanks
pleasure
for having
seeing
us.
you guys.
Again, thehistorycenter.org
Yeah,
for
man.
all information and become a member. That's
Yeah.
the easiest thing to do.
Well, they always have things going on, and every time they come in here, they're like, for members, it's free. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how you guys are making any money, but yeah, sign up, become a member. You will not regret it. You'll love it.
All right, we will be right back.
Awesome. Still on YouTube and Twitch. That was great, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
That was super fun. And very nice to meet you. Thanks
You
for
as well.
coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
It's silly. There's no, can't do anything else now. This is the end of the road for me. Where's that go, Sam?
That is Tuesday 1.
And we don't have anything there, right?
Nope.
Awesome.
So you got all the information for setup and everything for Saturday?
Yeah,
okay,
Tracy
cool.
sent it to me,
Cool,
so we're cool there. It's going to be me and Pam hanging out.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's good. If there's a phone number there on the information. We got someone that we hired just to make sure they because usually me and Daniel we get pulled every different direction. So
Yeah,
we got
sure.
someone
Boom.
to, if anything else, ask her and then she'll help you out. But it should be
Cheers, guys. Thanks for hanging out. You inspired me. I'm going to buy some ducks this weekend. I'm going to go get some new ones.
I
I
have that
gotta
on my
get-
Christmas list.
Yeah, are they on your Christmas
Yeah.
list? That's funny.
I need some.
See you, Scotty.
Bye.
Have a good rest of your day, y'all.
I'll give it a beat before I call this guy. I just gave him a heads up.
Yeah, all good.
So we're just gonna change. This is gonna be for Wednesday. That was
Wednesday
Tuesday one.
Wednesday. I'm trying to figure out a Christmas song. I think I abandoned the Castleberry Christmas Santa Claus song. I don't like it anymore. I wrote just enough of it to go, it's played. You got to do something new. And then I threw it away. Well, I deleted the file on my phone, my little notepad phone.
Just push it out. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't.
Can't do it.
Uh,
Can't do it.
even if it's mediocre, people will be like, pretty good.
They do that anyway. They do that with my good stuff.
Everybody's got too much stuff. I mean,
Yeah, there's too much stuff. That's
you're
why I don't even
inund-
want to do it anymore. I'm like, other people will do it.
you're
They'll make the
inundated
songs
with
for Yeah.
a million things.
Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing the stuff.
Everybody's doing the stuff.
I put the first thing on my Christmas list.
Yeah.
That's funny, Sam. I just put my first thing on my Christmas list. I want Atlanta Braves pinstriped joggers. I think next year I'm going to start wearing joggers.
That's the transition into the radio.
No, it's cool. No. I'm going to wear
a
like
jumpsuit.
No. I'm not wearing the matching top. I just wear joggers with like a nice shirt or so. I'm going to watch. I'm asking for clothes for Christmas. I'm stepping up my game.
Nice.
I'm going to start coming in here like
Is that stepping up? Wearing
yeah.
jogging pants?
No, like nice joggers. They're like $100
Like
for the
trendy, stylish.
trendy joggers.
Oh.
Not
like gray
not
sweatpants.
sweatpants that a fat guy wears to run up and get his Chinese food.
I thought
Tom doesn't know anything about
Here,
fashion.
I'll show you.
I didn't know that was. I thought
show you.
like jogging pants were considered lazy. Like you know.
Joggers have like the tight cuff at the bottom.
Yeah, and these are like, and they're maybe a little more urban, you know. Hold on, I can't find it now. Shit, I sent them to Andrea. Hold on, they're in her text message, because she said, "Oh, here they are. Here are I'll put them up so people can see them."
I mean,
well, those look like chef pants.
Yeah, they're.
I mean, like, if you wear that,
Hold on.
Is that the Tasmanian devil?
No, it does not have the Tasmanian devil.
yeah.
Hold on, I can't get
All
this
right, these
thing.
were not what I was thinking, Tom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
that's
thing to
yeah,
work.
that's what.
No, these are cool,
I thought you were
trendy.
gonna get like khaki joggers.
Those are cool, trendy joggers.
I mean, that is.
Look at these. These
It's
are great.
considered you giving up.
No,
right?
no.
I think it is. I mean,
No,
I thought we were gonna go full jumpsuits.
anybody with the.
Look at these. Look at it. Embroidered, fully embroidered, pinstripe. Look at this.
What kind of shirt are you gonna wear with that? Oh, just like a white
Yeah,
tee?
I love a white tee. I wear my white Air Force One. He got Air Force Ones on. You wear like a nice jacket. I like it. I think it's a good look.
I mean,
And the long stripes, if you want to elongate when you're small like me, you want to wear vertical stripes because it does add to the illusion that you might be a bit taller. That's why you don't want to have long hair as a shorter person.
I don't think you could pull this off, dude.
I think I can.
Right,
I think I can.
It's.
I'd be like you saying you're going to run a marathon. It's like it's the same thing.
Well, I mean, one is dressed, you got long stripe Atlanta Brave sweatpants
It's
on.
fun. I like fun stuff.
No. You could wear them here. That's what I'm saying. It's
No, I'm going to wear them out.
Out where?
Yeah, out to, I don't know, to an event, to a concert, to a Solar Bears game, to Orlando City.
No, you can't wear that.
Jeez.
I like that. I like these. No. Put it away.
Just wear some jeans.
I only have one pair of jeans.
You just buy more, either jeans, some sort of slacks.
Slacks.
Yeah.
You need slacks. I have a pair of gray slacks. Do you have a pair of slacks?
I've got business pants.
No.
What does that mean? What
Yeah,
does
super
that
pants.
mean?
You don't have a pair of khakis? You need a pair of khakis.
No. I found that I could wear jeans to basically anything. Even weddings or like funerals nowadays, they're more casual.
Might want to get some new jeans.
I'm not going to any weddings anymore.
I
don't
need new
even need. I don't even need my suit. Those suits we bought, waste of money.
You're not gonna wear it to the Christmas party?
Not a suit.
I thought we were going fancy.
Oh, yeah, we were going to go fancy. You're right. I'm going to rent a tuxedo, though, like a really bad one.
Wait, the venue's not fancy. It's a
We
casual.
can make it fancy.
Yeah, let's make it fancy.
No.
Let's make it Santa Claus's prom.
I feel like you make something fancy. It's
Dude, let's do a pimp and hoe party. Christmas pimp and hoe party.
I don't think you do that anymore.
Totally you can. We can do anything we want. Johnny's other side. Oh, wait. Oops. Tom and Dan's pimp and hoe. We'll wear fedora. Tom and Dan's Don Imus nappy-headed hoe Christmas party. What do you think?
All right, I'm going to throw you on hold, and we'll be with you in a minute, okay?
I got a mixed bag of people saying I can either pull it off or not pull it off.
All right, we got
I'm going
Jeff.
to try it. Jeff,
Line one. Jeffrey.
Jeff, can you hear us okay, man?
Daniel, I can hear you just fine.
Awesome. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this, okay?
Yeah, thank you guys. It's always good to talk to you guys.
All right, man. Hold on one second. We'll get it rolling. All right. Here we go. You start. 3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producers here. Hello, Sam.
Heidi.
We are live on Twitch and YouTube right now. And if you like watching podcasting live streams, like apparently a lot of people do, you can find us. Just search at Tom and Dan Live.
Also, our two events, the Bad at Business Beer Fest and Sofa and Suds, are this weekend. Saturday is the Beer Fest. Show up around noon to get your free sample cup and gift bag.
Yeah.
We're giving out 2,000 sample cups and gift bags filled with, there's coupons in there.
Yeah.
There's free stuff. There's free sunglasses.
Tchotchkes, fun things, sunglasses, chip clip, all
Yeah,
kinds
yeah.
of fun stuff.
Yeah.
But bring a photo ID. You must be 21 years of age to drink. Please drink responsibly. And, get there early.
And when you're there, thank all the breweries for participating, all of our sponsors that they're the reason we could do this free. Did you know I was like, imagine if we charged, $50, which is a standard, I think,
Like Beer Fest, yeah.
for Beer Fest
I think
ticket,
that's
whatever.
low. I think that's low. The
yeah.
last ones I've seen, the Beer Fest tickets, standard tickets are $65. No, thank you.
But let's say we just went cheaper, $50, and we sold 2,000 tickets. Do you realize how much money?
Yes,
that
I do.
Yeah.
And so
That's why this is bad at business.
That's why we're always depressed
So-
when you see us day of the event. No, I'm joking.
So
well-
maybe buy an event shirt. Help us out.
yeah.
also,
It's a nice thing to do,
Yeah.
right?
all the sponsor gifts in the gift bag, those sponsors are the ones that funded this free beer fest.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it without the sponsor.
Underwritten by, you're supposed
yeah.
to say, right?
Well, actually, we couldn't really do it without us. We're
Yeah.
the true
I mean, we're heroes first.
That is my.
Then secondary heroes.
We brought the sponsors money to put
That's
this,
right.
so it's their money, but really we're
We
the
gathered
heroes.
it.
That's one of my favorite me first in the gimme gimme quotes when they're like, I'd like to thank 3 people who drove a long way to be here today. Give it up for Tom and Dan and Sam, everybody. Yeah, give it up for Tom and Dan and Sam.
True Phonic, the band starts at 2.
I'm very excited
I am
about
too.
True Phonic because here's the best part about True Phonic. They enjoy playing, and when you get a band that is like, they're all like just killers. They enjoy getting up there and putting on a show. They can play any type of music they want.
They're
that
BDMs
type of band.
as well.
They're BDMs.
So
It's going to be super fun.
you want to listen to some awesome music. It's going to be 76 outside. Nice and cool. And then
Nice street party.
Can't
and
believe
then
it.
walk around and sample.
Food trucks.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and the breweries that came out or like that are going to come out to our beer fest are really good. And some of the breweries brew specific beers only for our beer fest.
You'll
So
see some beers that you're not going to be able to get anywhere
Yeah,
else
yeah.
because this is such a weirdo beer fest.
and then the next day, the Sanford Sofa races, Sofa and Suds. Me and Daniel call the races. That starts at 2. Get there a little early for a good spot to watch the races. But
you can bring your family to either events. Most things are dog friendly and family friendly. Yeah, it'd just be fun seeing you guys. And again, as always, don't know why, all events free.
yeah,
Absolutely
caution
free.
nothing. So swing by and we'll all be out. So come say
Yeah,
what's
come
up.
say hi.
So let's do some weird job.
All right, I'm going back to the original.
All right.
OG, baby.
Yeah, man.
Tom wanted to do a bit, he called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it, Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Jobs are still weird. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. But we're on a Tuesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
All right. Jeff's on the line.
Whoa.
How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing fantastic. How's everybody
You're
doing?
laughing at Slam Hogs, aren't you?
How can I not
I
laugh
know.
at Slam Hogs?
I know.
It's hilarious every
It's-
single time.
It's so great. Love me some Slam Hogs.
So, full transparency, Jeff is from the Sharp Square.
I love
He's
this guy.
my gambling buddy.
I like this guy better than you
Oh,
when it
man.
comes to gambling.
I talk to him more. I message Jeff more than I message my wife.
I know.
Anybody.
Than me.
Does he have better luck than you?
This is his best friend, and Tom
I
doesn't
messaged
believe
him
in
back
best friends.
fast. As
Tom
soon as he-
doesn't-
Tom didn't respond to one text message I sent him last week when I was sick.
Tom doesn't
Oh,
believe
yeah,
in
Tom.
best friends, but this is his
So
best
Good
friend.
as, good as dead, Tom.
Yeah, this guy's his best friend.
No. Well, Jeff will message me about the games this weekend, and
Yeah.
I'm interested
I
in that.
messaged you about work.
Around here, it's
so
always
boring.
You said get to work.
Yeah, around here, Sam, it's just Jeff this, Jeff that. Jeff said this. Oh,
No.
Jeff did that.
Well, I say get to work, but I hate it just like everybody else. I don't want to do it.
All you got to do, Sam, is like lead whatever message in, hey, I'm looking at Baltimore +4 this week, and then write whatever your message is. He'll be forced to sort
I'm
of
going to
read
start
it and
doing
get
that.
engaged
Okay.
with
I'm
it.
going to start doing that just to throw.
Yeah.
I'm also going to
Start
change.
with a bet.
I'm also going to change my name to Jeff in your phone. You'll be like, oh, hi, Jeff.
I don't even. It's a Sharp Square. I don't know. I know only his goof
Gambling man.
gambling radio name. So anyway, so Jeff, I found out the reason he's on Weird Job is he has my dream job.
Currently.
Yeah. Currently, my dream job. And once he told me what he
Works
did.
at Gaylord Palms, the Atrium.
Yeah.
No, almost. I guess it would. This would be better if I was sweeping around plants. I guess the Gaylord Palms sweeper would be better. But so Jeff, what is your job?
As you would so eloquently put it, Tom, I push the broom for the United States Post Office.
Whoa.
So
What are you sweeping under the rug, bro?
So you are a
I can't get into all of that.
You're a janitor for the post office?
Custodial engineer. I did go
How
to college
dare
for
you.
4 years, but you can call me whatever works.
Wait, did
yes,
you
I'm
go
a
to
janitor
college for
the post
custodial
office.
engineering?
I will give the gentleman that works at the up here at the Herndon, the tiny Herndon
Yeah.
post office, whoever that guy is that mops the floors in there, they are perfect. They are literally
Shining.
It's the clean. You walk in there, it smells like straight up just delicious. It's great.
Yeah. Well, his whole job is the 1,200 square foot of mopping every day. This is not, like you start from the back, do the front.
It sounds kind of fun.
And then
I
just
might
day
be
after-
with you on this.
So, and the reason why I like it is because Jeff told me he could listen to podcasts all
Oh, yeah.
day
Yeah.
while he's sweeping.
Oh, it's the best.
This is how he gets the edge on his competitors.
Yeah. So, Jeff, tell us about when you go in the morning. What do you do? Is it a 8-hour-a-day gig? How does it work?
I go in the morning and I get to work. I come in. Yeah, I work Monday through Friday. My days start at 7, and my whole goal is to basically stay hidden because I do not touch the mail. Nobody really cares what I'm doing as long as the building looks neat and clean. So yeah, I just come in, I clean up the stuff, then get out of people's way, and then when all the mail carriers and stuff leave for the day, I go clean up their stuff and rinse, wash, and repeat.
Do you?
How bad are the bathrooms?
Yeah.
Give us the real.
Oh, I forgot about the bathrooms.
Do they blow it up?
Yeah, I want to keep knocking the job, but you got to remember, if in the post office, if you walk in and say, "Hey, where's your, Poro customer bathroom?" they tell you no such luck. These are employee bathrooms only. It does not alleviate all the atrocities, but it does keep it down to a minimum because, other workers know they'll be judged by other workers. So I think that definitely helps a little bit.
I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
think about that.
It's
That happens here.
That doesn't work here.
No, I never blow it up. If you're not, like last week, Sam, I will be honest with you. Last week when you were out, Tom and I were peeing with the door open, not washing our hands, and blowing it up on the regular.
I believe it.
But now that you're back, we're back to, running this place like a post office.
Yeah. I walked to Publix because there's something happening.
And I go in a bag.
So Jeff, I like the fact that you get left alone. And do you have any supervisor? Because
This might be my favorite job because, I was born alone. I'm craving it as I'm coming in for a landing.
yeah.
I find myself wanting to be alone more.
Because I had a buddy that worked for the county one time, and his job fell between the cracks, and he didn't really have any supervisor. And I think this happens in county and government jobs.
Well, they probably eliminated his boss.
Yes, and then
So when they eliminate his boss or who hired him, there's nobody, and he just floating between departments.
Yeah. You still get your paycheck every 2 weeks.
My
and
dad
no
did
one
that.
No
My
one,
dad did that at the Volusia County Courthouse. They fired his boss, and then he was still a courier, but he had no direct supervisor.
And as long as you just show up every day, no one knows.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, and then it looks like you're doing something. No one will ask any questions. No one's no, there's no bottom line anybody's got to hit. No one's stressed out. Everyone's just showing up. They're like, hey. So is that kind of accurate, Jeff?
It's exactly how it is. Now, I have a direct supervisor, but she's also in charge of a million other things every day where, somebody will be jumping down her throat if she's not on top of, where the mail is, where's the package.
Let me ask you something
Are you
serious.
filling out all the email reports?
Let me ask you something serious. Why is she the supervisor? Woman.
Because
you
it's
should be
like
the
a lot of
supervisor,
places.
man. I'm joking. I'm joking. Being stupid.
Yeah, it's really just here. You're the manager. You're in charge of everything. So there's so much. It is someone I report to, but frankly, she can check my work by looking at her trash can and making sure it's empty. So
Do
it's
you
like
only-
that's an easy one.
Do you only have to clean, or you only required to clean one post office, or do sometimes they do like they do with Subways where we don't have enough staffing?
Oh,
so
you gotta go do
we
the
gotta-
Mills.
Yeah, we
post
take
office.
you over to Mills, so you can clean that one. And I know there's homeless around there, so
It all depends on what job. You have like job bids in the post office, and whatever your bid is, some people travel. I've done that before, but now I'm in an office where it's just me. I'm the only custodian janitor here in the office, and I just stay at this office 5 days a week.
That's
so
dope.
on top of being a good job, I've got a good gig as well as far as my assignment.
do you have keys to the place, and can you go there after hours to cheat on your wife?
I have a dungeon master set of keys. I have alarm codes, but I can think of maybe a few more nice places to go and impress my mistress.
It's not
other
about
than the post
niceties;
office.
it's about not getting caught.
Now, Jeff, the sweetest part about government jobs, and I talked to my buddy the Wizard about this whole time,
A
is
lot
that,
of your friends have government jobs.
is that you can't get fired, which is like now there are obviously if you just stopped showing up to work or did something super egregious, but for the most part like if you show up and you kind of get your stuff done, you know, like in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
You're not bothering anybody.
Have you ever gotten into
You know,
trouble?
like you can't get fired.
The kind of get your stuff done in a reasonable amount of time, that's negotiable. Really, two things to do and never get fired from the post office. Show up to work, don't have a horrible attendance, and past that, don't steal anything. If you do those two things, you're made like somebody in the mafia. You're riding this thing out until you collect all the bennies at the end of your run.
Bennies. Collect
that's
them
all about
bennies,
the
baby.
bennies.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So
But stealing gives me a rush.
yeah.
I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
I live for stealing.
Yeah. If you find
What are you going to steal from here?
I don't know.
Well-
I haven't determined it yet, but I'm thinking about it. It could be a lot. I have all the passwords to all of our bank accounts.
any letters from grannies to
Except
the
for T&D
grandkids
Medical.
may have cash in them.
Yeah.
That's
That's really the only thing I've ever. Well, no, I had that one time at the Eckerd in Brandywine in DeLand where I stole a candy and had to take it back, and then I did steal. I did steal money out of a card that was sent to my house from my grandma.
Here's
Wow.
a tip on stealing the mail.
Yeah.
Steal the mail that smells like weed. No one will report it stolen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Shouldn't be there anyway.
Because there's so much marijuana in our mail system.
Yeah.
And UPS and everything is shipping like crazy. And if that's the thing to steal, because who's gonna, if it never shows up, the person that mailed it is gonna be like freaked out that it
Yeah.
somehow
Yeah.
like a cop got it or whatever. They're
How
not gonna be
long
like
does-
someone stole my package
How
full of
long
weed.
does that anxiety stay with you? About 3 weeks? Where you think the feds are coming to get you?
No,
2 weeks?
I think the guys who do that normally, they're used to it.
Okay.
Like they don't even get worried. Plus, there's no return address, so how they ain't even gonna find you?
Jeff, what is the worst thing you have ever seen or had to clean up? And I'm just using this as a marker to kind of see like what would be like your, DEF CON level 10 scenario to kind of judge how easy your job is.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking for the floor here, there has been an incident with plumbing in the bathroom, and I'll just let you use your imagination from there.
Yeah.
That does fall into my wheelhouse when something that bad does happen. So I've been there once, but for the most part, I haven't had a lot of horrible days with things like that.
So Jeff, let's talk about like your worst nightmare here, because I imagine if I had your job, I'd be, riding it to collect the bennies. In there every day. I'm like, all right, I sweep. I listen to all my gambling podcasts, and then go home at the end of the day. But I would live in fear that somehow there would be some mandate coming down from
Robot.
Biden or someone where it's like, you know what? No more.
Biden?
No more listening to, no more earbuds
Yeah.
in the post office because this
We need you paying attention.
it would happen because the actual postal workers behind the desk, they start wearing earbuds and then the customers complain and
she
then
wasn't listening to me.
and then all of a sudden it comes out no earbuds for any employees. And then you're like, wait a minute, I don't deal with customers. They're like, nope, it's an umbrella policy now.
They did that with Andrea's mom when she was a letter carrier.
Yeah, and
They
then,
said no headphones, so she
Yes.
would carry like a little radio and kind of break the rules.
but then you try to explain, like, wait a minute, this doesn't apply to me, but it doesn't matter. It's an overall umbrella thing. And so now it turns a sweet job of you listen to podcasts all day into
a nightmare.
into torture
Yeah.
of just sweeping and having to listen to your employees talk about the most boring thing in the world.
About the mail.
No, they're talking about their lives and what they're into, which is more boring
Well, they're
than
bitching
mail.
about their job, I would imagine, right?
yeah.
That's what most people do.
Yeah, Frank's bitching about
This
his old
has-
lady.
No, they talk about their kids, their wives.
Have you
It has
ever-
happened before.
Oh, really?
They did crack down on this once, and I had a supervisor tell me, hey, you got to be focusing and paying attention. You can't have
Hey,
earbuds
Sharp
in.
Square,
so.
take out your skull candies, you idiot.
And yeah, so I paid attention for about a day or two, and then since I realized nobody's around me when I'm doing my work, I put my earbuds in and went about my day.
That's what we did with our uncensored podcast when they made us pull it. Yeah, we were like, they're not paying attention. We'll go back to being uncensored.
Yeah, giant corporations and the government have a lot in common, which
Yeah.
is they do they'll mandate rules and then forget about
Nobody
them.
follows up.
Or they
follow
mandate the rules and there's no way to follow up and no consequences for following up. Supreme Court.
And this is a love child of both, because you have basically a giant corporation that is somewhat a subsidiary of the United States government. So they're comboing in the bureaucracy. They're going nuts around here.
Do you get any free stamps?
No free stamps, no free stuff.
God, because I do love the post office. It still amazes
You don't
me.
get a
that-
discount when you ship something out?
It still amazes me that for a small price you can send a correspondence written across the world. It's crazy to me, dude.
Here, 51 cents?
Yeah, like seriously, like I know it sounds like a
Should
dumb old
cost
man
more.
thing to say. It should cost more. You can like write a letter to somebody in the furthest place and it'll get there.
So this is why I'm the most jealous, Jeff, is how many hours of podcasts can you listen to in a day? Like, I understand you can't just walk in the door with your earbud.
I think you
know,
could.
like, you have to get, like, say
Oh,
your
I,
night.
oh, I can't, Tom?
Oh,
I
you
think
do?
you can. I think you can walk in rolling.
You literally go from your car listening into work listening?
Yeah, I mean, I got my gambling podcast on, sitting in the parking lot, and then I get out of the car, flip over the earbuds, and start my day.
I see people do that all the
Oh,
time.
that's sweet.
That is a level of augmented reality that is really no different than like VR
Yeah.
or whatever. It's audible, right? But
Yeah.
there are people I know that literally will listen at home, take them out, listen in the car, get out of the car, put them back in, listen on the
Yeah.
way to work, listen at their desk, get back in the car, listen on the way home, put them back in, don't listen to their family. The whole day they're living.
That's gotta screw up your brain.
I think it does, dude.
You're constantly just hearing human voices
And you're
talk to
blocking
you.
everybody
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
I
yeah.
did it last night. I laid in bed last night with my Apple Air Maxes on, and I listened to just music. No podcast or nothing, just music for 3 hours. I went to bed at like 12:30 last night because I just couldn't stop listening to music.
I love blocking people. It was my favorite. Like, it's awesome.
I like C blocking people out. That's what I really like.
So, Jeff, let me tell you about one of the worst beats I had Monday night.
Here we go.
So-
This is why he really wanted you on.
So
we don't care about your dumb custodial job. We want to talk
the
gambling.
line is crashing and the money's coming in on Denver, right? And I don't understand why. I'm like, what's the and I know Bills defense are having the problems, but I'm like, Denver, like, why, they're coming off a bye, I guess, but so the money's coming in, but I still like Bills, and it got down to 7, and then I'm like, oh, I'm teasing them. And so I teased them with a bunch of other, games next week. And then I'm like, all right, Bills just have to win by 1 point, all right? So I'm like, all right, if they win by 1, I'm like, that's pretty, I like that. So I'm watching the game. Immediately, first play, fumble, which I'm
I
like,
was
well,
watching that too.
I'm like, this is a bad time. This means that this entire game is not going to go like I thought.
It was a tone setter,
Yeah,
right? Like,
and then Denver misses their extra point, and I'm like, well, that's going to come back and get me somehow. Like, I'm watching this whole thing, and the turnover, the Bills are playing like garbage. But luckily, Denver's garbage too, so somehow the Bills are still in it, right? right? So
Garbage bowl.
We get down to the end of the game, and the Bills are up by 1 point. Which, by the way, as I see the Bills only go
What do you
up by 1
think,
point, I'm like, for sure, this is somehow going to screw me because now I'm only going to push, right?
Yeah.
But I'll still push. I won't lose my money, right?
Right, so you should have been happy.
Because I got it tied on to the Bills are up by 1, and Denver's driving, right? Denver drives down somehow, which they haven't been, able to move the ball at all the whole game.
Not a thing.
But and somehow the last drive they drive down, and then with seconds left, they decide to go for a short field goal. It's like 35 or whatever yards, and they have to rush out. They're taking basically kneeling it down and making Bills call their timeouts. So essentially they were on their last timeout, so they have to do a fast switch over, right? So they kneel, and then their kicking team runs out fast. And so I watch them run out fast. I'm like, well, this is going to, like, the kicker has already missed an extra point. And so,
you don't want to set like
they
that.
run out fast, and then they kick it and miss it. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, this whole week I've been losing last-minute field goal games.
You did it.
And this time, at least I pushed. I didn't lose all my money. And the Bills have 14 men on the field. Which, Jeff, I don't know if you watched this game, but how does this happen? Like, don't they have the standard field goal unit that, like, there's not an extra guy just roaming around? Like, they have their standard.
I'm lost.
Like, that game, like, their assignment that game, they all know run out on the field. Why is there one extra guy showing up on the field? How does this happen? These are millionaires. I mean, not all of them, but especially special teams, but they all get paid pretty well. The coaches are millionaires.
Yeah.
How does it happen, Jeff?
What do you think, Jeff?
How did I lose?
Well, there's always 1,000 different ways to lose a bet. That's something I've learned over the years. But my wife gets so sick about me talking about how they could pay me. I'd do it for $500,000 a year for any team, and I'm just going to be a quality control expert, and I'm just going to make sure at the end of every game that you don't butcher it, that you don't butcher the clock, that you don't butcher your timeouts, that you don't butcher having your special teams ready to run on the field. I don't know. It's unbelievable. I think it's just like, it's the special teams and the field goal units. They're like the custodial staff. They are out of sight, out of mind, and the
Like
coaches
you.
forget about them, and stuff like this happens.
No, hold on.
Just like a janitor at the post office,
hold on, Jeff.
hiding in the shadows.
There is a special teams coach, and that is his job and position.
Yeah, but
right?
it's a lot of moving parts. I wouldn't lay it on him. I'd lay it on somebody was wandering, right? Somebody was not paying attention.
Yeah, well,
It has to be that.
if I'm the special teams coach, I'm like, all right, we're going to go out there for the field goal. There's barely a chance you're ever going to block it. Maybe if you jump high enough, you tip it. If it's a long field goal, they have to arc it differently or whatever. But for the most
Takes more
part,
time to set.
all you're doing is you're crashing into the line, jump up, wave your hands or whatever. But what we can't do.
Oh, Jay Korn's telling me. Jay Korn is telling me. Now, this is interesting because I didn't know this because I just watched the replay this morning. He's saying that it was DeMar Hamlin that was out on the field. He wasn't supposed to be out there.
No, he did play.
He did.
Did he play?
For the defense? Made one tackle.
Okay, that counts then.
And then every time they showed him,
If he tackled,
I'm like,
then
oh my god, a
that's
ghost!
No, Jay Korn says he swears it was DeMar Hamlin that forced that penalty.
Really?
That's what Jay Korn's saying, and he doesn't seem to be taking a funny tone. What an irony that DeMar Hamlin came back and got you right up the beehole. I mean,
That's
boom!
hilarious.
No, was that for
right
real?
in the beehole. Like he's a he's a pumping you good.
No, that can't. I don't think.
If that is true,
Because I know they had him on special teams. But
Nate Mass says safety. DeMar Hamlin was running off the field late, but the Bills appeared to have an extra lineman out there for the entirety of the play.
no, because there were 14 men on the field.
Yeah.
This wasn't you're running off the field and they just snap it before.
No, this was in formation.
So.
I mean, like you're like wrong or not wrong, you broke Tom. Like you broke his brain. Like you made him mad.
Anyway, it's just seems ridiculous.
Safety DeMar Hamlin was running off the field late, but the Bills appeared to have an extra lineman out there for the entirety of the play. The Bills did not say exactly who was not supposed to still be on the field, and it's difficult to know if the same play was called on the second field goal attempt. But defensive and Leonard Floyd was the only player on the field for the missed kick, but not on the field for the winning kick.
Yeah, I don't think it was Hamlin's fault because they counted. I'm watching the play, and they're like, here's that one.
It's so much funnier to be DeMar Hamlin. Oh my God, that is so good. It's like, he was like, "What? Tom wants what?
And
Let's just drag my feet getting off the field today."
And of course, because of the penalty, they kick it again, and he makes it. Which I'm like, of course. Luckily, I have a Bills under for the entire year. That's the only thing that's going to save my year this year.
The old underbills.
Yeah, is that the Bills are stinking it up. They may not even make the playoffs now. Anyway.
Jeff, how are you doing in contrast to Tom having a bad year? Because last year, and I probably jinxed you on one of my Publix runs walking with you. I remember walking with you, and we were talking about how last year you did really good. You were like, I did well, made a little money, was always up, had a great time. This year, it is a stark contrast to it. Jeff, how are you doing with your bets?
I am actually having a really good year so far, knock on wood. I've done pretty well in my cash games, and I also venture into some sports betting contests, and I have one I'm playing individually that's going really well right now. I'll also say something just that I've liked this year that I've been trying to do and communicating with Tom and some other people. Just trying to get insight from other people who do it differently than I do, and just really paying attention. Oh yeah, me and it's funny because we think a lot alike on certain things, but our approaches are very different. So I'm just kind of paying attention to what other people do and kind of taking what seems to work for them and incorporating it into my own style. So
do you listen
it's been
to Jeff
good. I've been
Benny?
doing well.
So you have
he just tuned him out right there.
Yeah. So you have opposing styles. You're having a bad year. Jeff having a great year.
I was thinking my approach. You know that meme where the plane is coming in for landing and then it gets a wobble crazy and the wing touches the ground and then you're like, whoa! And then it lands sideways and you're like, how is it landing with the wheels pointed 45 degrees? But it's fine. My approach is like that. It's windy. The wing touches the ground.
It's more exciting that way.
But I'll land. People will live.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, Jeff, what do you make per year with your post office janitorial position?
I make now everything in the post office is based on seniority. So, you never sit in the boss's office and negotiate a raise. Those are all basically negotiated through the union, and you get an automatic raise, every so often throughout the year. So I've got about 10 years in now, and I'm making just under $60,000.
No, that's a nice.
Holy Christ, dude!
I mean,
and that doesn't even count though all the bennies. When you start adding up the bennies, like I always say, my wife makes the money for us right now. I'm making money for us in the future because some of the stuff that you get as far as federal perks are awesome.
That's a great phrase. I'm going to steal that. Except mine's going to be, I made the money in the past, and now you're making the money.
$60K to listen to podcasts all day, sweep some floors.
Sounds pretty good.
Empty some trash bins, and it's all like
bennies.
The post office trash is not
papers.
It's usually just Baldwin Park magazine.
Like when I'd have to empty the trash at the sub shop when I was a teen.
God.
It was all
wet. Food.
Oh my
it was
God!
all
There's
wet.
cheese whiz and meat and used condoms.
Like emptying the trash for any sort of restaurant is the worst.
Horrifying. Horrifying.
But for the post office, it's all balled up paper. And, like some
it's
pins.
People mad.
It's dry. Dry trash is the way.
Yeah, you're throwing away voter registration, Baldwin Park magazine, a bunch of little bric-a-brac.
Yeah.
Some flyer from Tom and Dan and Bart Merrick.
Yeah.
Throw that in the trash.
They got 10 trash bags full of Trump ballots. I've seen the news.
Yeah, I know what the real deal is. I'm a free thinker.
Yeah, every once in a while, a homeless person will pee on a stack of AARP magazines. But other than that,
you let them dry, they're fine. If you let them dry, they're fine. Just don't get them wet again. It's fine.
All right, Jeff. Well, thanks for doing a weird job today, and I'll message you later. I
at that.
Give him some good advice.
Yeah. Does he use emojis with you at all?
Hell no.
Occasionally a little bit of a heart here or there if I give him a good pick.
That's what I figured.
A heart.
That's what I figured.
I'm on Philly this week against Kansas City. I like Philly +3. Just so you know. If you could find them at -110.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I think they're -120 in most books.
All right, try to get them.
It sounds good, guys.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
He ain't taking your advice, bro.
Like, all right, whatever you want to do, Mr. Land the plane sideways.
It is, you know what it is, insulting and then shows you're not very good at what your hobby.
Are you talking about him or me?
When you give someone to me, I do this to Cabin Boy Matt all the time and other friends, where I give them gambling advice. I'm like, I give them a tip. I'm like, hey, I'm on this, and then I hear nothing. They don't say like, they're like, I just bet it or whatever. Like it's just nothing. And then I'll get like a thumbs up. Maybe a day later, I'm like, well, the line changed. You obviously didn't jump on it. Anyway. It's a slap in the face.
Christine in our chat room says Mama Kelsey has been hanging in Orlando a ton recently. Yeah, Mama Kelsey has a house in Baldwin Park near the studio.
We should try and get her on.
We should try, or if anything, we should get our mobile equipment and go down there and sit on their porch until they call the cops.
Okay.
The problem is with talking to Mama Kelsey is she has nothing interesting to say.
Just ask her about like what's Taylor Swift like.
No, she doesn't talk about that.
Is this real? Is it not real?
Like
how many jerseys have you had to disassemble and sew back together? Do you do it yourself? Do other people do it?
Like
do you have a team of seamstresses now?
Like being the mom of 2 football players isn't that interesting because she had nothing to do.
Do you ever fully admit that Travis Kelsey is way better than the other, the fat one?
Jason Kelsey?
Yeah. I just call him the fat one.
Jason's actually considered
the better player.
A better player, yeah.
No,
he's made more money in the NFL.
Do you listen to their podcast?
Yeah, it's good. I've listened to it before. I like their... I don't know. I mean, they're brothers.
Chemistry.
It's good chemistry.
But
I like that family. They seem like they're good dudes.
But to me, they don't give me any pertinent, interesting information that I want to know. You know,
it's not your style of podcast.
Well, they're not telling me behind the scenes. It's like more like I guess some stuff.
It's light.
But you can't. They can't talk about specific things I want them to talk about. So therefore, I'll talk about. I'll listen to people that have no idea. They're not close to the NFL at all. Speculate.
I didn't know that Jason Kelsey was up for Sexiest Man Alive. A lot of Eagles fans in there. They're mad at me for making fun of Jason Kelsey. Yeah, I didn't know he was up for Sexiest Man Alive. I don't see him very much. I've only seen him.
I thought it was Travis Kelsey up for that.
They're saying Jason Kelsey.
Oh, okay.
Jason is. I only see him on the Chunky Soup commercials. You
know? Yeah.
He's chunky?
No, he's just it's him and his brother. It's him and Travis Kelsey.
I'm sick of both of them. I'm sick of all
yeah,
of them.
I am a little bit too. Let's get back to football.
Yeah.
Let's just do the football thing. I'm okay with that. I don't need to I saw that he went to where did he go? Brazil? Argentina. Yeah, I saw he went to Argentina.
He didn't.
She changed the lyrics in her song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that video. Yeah, but they're still pumping out the videos of that stuff, aren't they?
I did see him kissing.
Of course you did.
And
who didn't?
I was like,
because that makes it real.
I was like, at least I was like, well, they went to that, they got to the kissing phase of the whatever.
And they just happened to do it in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
No, I know. But it's like they're actually
people are so dumb
doing it.
I remember Michael Jackson kissing Lisa Marie Presley and
the VMAs
and the VMAs, and then he's like. And they said it wouldn't last.
Yeah.
And then they did this awkward kiss.
Yeah.
And I'm like, still weirdo. Like when he did it, I remember watching it.
People act like PR relationships haven't been around since the test of fucking time, and I just cursed.
Oh, yeah. I love Spicy Sam.
I get so mad about it.
Yeah. She gets real mad about it. She gets real mad about it. But like this has been going on probably for 100 years.
Literally since it became a thing of Hollywood couples.
Well, even before that, think about remember when Cleopatra, wasn't she up with, who was it? Was it Alexander the Great? I don't know my history perfectly, but there have been powerful people hitching their wagons to powerful people's since the beginning of time.
And it can be beneficial for both of them. No one's saying it has to be one way or the other.
Thank you, chat room. I knew you're smarter than me.
Has Lisa Marie been on some podcast?
She's passed away.
Yeah, she died.
Oh, did she?
Literally this year.
Yeah.
Weird.
You're a monster. You're a monster.
Well, before she died, did she talk about
I think she did a memoir.
Her time with Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Because that had to have been bizarre, right? Like, she had to have had
Nobody's given me what I want, though. What I want is, like...
Oh, she was planning to write her autobiography before she passed.
Nobody gives me what I want. What I want is, like, I was sitting on the bed, then the door opened, then he came out nude, skeleton.
Yeah,
You know, I want, like, really graphic, horrifying... I want, like, Terrifier 3-level explanations of how weird that
It says
guy
she
is.
was working on a tell-all about Elvis and Michael Jackson prior to her shocking death.
Well, Michael Jackson is way weirder than Elvis. Obviously.
I mean, they're both
Elvis
weird.
just, Elvis, I think,
he also was with
dips
girls.
into, like, bad yeah, they both kind of
He was having sex with 13 and 14-year-olds.
Yeah,
That's not good.
dip into bad stuff.
Different time.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so pedophilia is fine then.
It was then
in the 50s,
yeah, in the 50s, it was a
When
lot.
did it change?
everybody turned a
Yeah,
blind eye to it.
yeah.
It was in the 70s it was happening.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, and the 80s, and the 90s, and now.
But I
So
feel
when,
like-
when is
now-
it not socially acceptable?
Now
yet?
we look at it, we're like, no.
We can't do it now. We've
What
evolved.
are you doing here? This guy's a monster.
But in the 50s, they were, man. People were like, I'm kind of okay with it. It's not that bad.
We're like, all right, her mom says it's okay. Like, that's how it works.
And the dads didn't even know anything was going on. Like, the dads never spent any time with your kids. You didn't know what was going on with your little boy or little girl because you were, like, at work or in your lazy boy.
But I want to know, like, because do you think Lisa Marie was ever even, did she spend that much time alone with Michael Jackson? Probably not, right? You know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
was really busy,
were
so
they-
probably not.
did they ever, like,
He
hang
never
out
had kids.
in the
wanna
house
see-
all day?
Yeah, I want
like, I want to know what, like,
I want him
you
to,
walked
like,
around
walk
a
in. He's like,
weirdo.
I went to the video store and got 3 movies. I was kind of hoping we could just do mushrooms and watch these.
You know what I mean? Like, something like, I want him to do, like, what normal couples do, where, like, he comes in, he's like,
I went to Boston Market.
you know, like, but I don't think any of that happened.
No.
Was there anything normal? That's
No.
what fascinated. Like,
No.
was there any of you just hanging out on the couch watching
No.
TV with Michael Jackson,
No, I don't think
or
so.
was it the whole thing weird?
It's hard to watch TV when you're wearing a suit of golden armor, like, you know, like, remember
Or-
when
yeah,
that was
or
like one
silk
of
pajamas. I
one
don't
of-
think I've ever seen him in anything like a just a
Yeah.
regular T-shirt and shorts.
I did like.
Did he ever wear shorts? Has
No.
anyone seen his legs?
No, he didn't have legs.
he had,
He moonwalked.
He was
Probably
like Orko
unfortunate-
from He-Man. He just kind of floated.
yeah, he probably had unfortunate legs. You know,
Skinny.
Although he danced a lot.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
You
Yeah,
would think
but-
they would, you know.
Yeah,
Were
but
they
he's a good
also the
athlete.
Yeah.
same tone as the rest of him?
They could have been black legs.
What
then
if his legs were jet black,
that could have
like a
been
microphone stand?
Like he
He
Skinny
always
like
wore the
a,
long socks and the long pants.
2 microphone stands.
Because he may have only done the treatments to visible skin, you know, like
Interesting.
instead of his whole
The
body.
Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Is Sammy only half or full?
I don't know, but Sammy Sosa's face is like bright. It's whiter than mine. Like Sammy Sosa's
No, I know.
face. There's some photos of him. I'm like, holy crap, I'm blacker than you, dude.
But does he legitimately have the like a skin pigment
I
disorder?
thought he
thing?
bleached it.
I thought he did,
I
too.
thought he bleached it. There
Oh.
are people are crazy, man. People do crazy things.
No, I know.
I think he was. I think he became. Yeah, Sammy uses the bleaching cream. Thank you, Norm. He admitted to doing it. I guess that's what Norm's saying.
well,
Andrea used to love. My wife used to love Sammy Sosa. That was her baseball player.
Oh yeah.
Loved him.
Yeah, he literally does admit it. He says in the past that his skin carries a different appearance now because of a cream he uses that includes bleach.
I like when.
I like that he's honest about it.
Yeah, you got to own it. It's kind of like Dwight Howard. It's like, I do this. Mind your business.
It's a
like,
bleaching
okay.
cream that I apply before going to bed and whitens my skin some.
There's like I see
I need that for my penis.
TikTok videos of like them taking clips from like old award shows where like Michael Jackson didn't know other celebrities. So like there's one award show, he's standing next to a celebrity like who's a huge celebrity.
So insulated, right?
And then he's like, "Yo, can you fix this mic for me?" Like he thought it was like a technician
He's talking to like Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
It's like that video of Jerry Seinfeld when Kesha comes up to him and asks for a hug, and he's like, "No, thank you."
No,
That makes me uncomfortable. That one gets me.
No, but the thing is, Jerry Seinfeld not knowing who Kesha is, kind of understandable just because they're different generations. But like Michael Jackson, this was a celebrity in Michael Jackson's same era. So it wasn't like a younger, anyway, but he's so insulated from the public and lives such a weirdo life that he has no idea of like what the hell is going on in the world. Like he doesn't know who's a celebrity. Like that's what fascinates me is like these humans that have been made by society because they're insanely famous or rich or whatever. And they live such a bizarre life that it turns them ultra weird. And I like looking like
they just can't relate to the normal person anymore. Yeah,
there's a video of God, who was it? Is it? It may have been one. It may have been Janet Jackson.
Here's some Michael Jackson in shorts. I found. I'm gonna put it up here so everybody can see it.
There's either.
Well, those are older. What about some?
I don't think I can get a new one.
Was he?
Man.
Because I remember in the "You Are Not Alone" video, he was just in a sheet. Did they show his legs in that video?
I don't think so.
Him and Lisa Marie. Remember that?
I think he's a pants guy.
Yeah.
Some people are pants guys. Like your grandpa's probably a pants guy.
Yeah, he never wore shorts.
But my dad,
old school.
my
Did
dad
you ever
was
see
not.
his legs?
Yeah, in the hospital and things like that.
Oh, you
yeah,
need to
like
bring
the
that up.
hospital
That's
gown.
my lines. Those are my lines.
I remember, and then
Don't look at my legs.
when you're an old man, your leg hairs fall out.
Yeah, I got that.
happens.
I got that right now.
That's the tell that you're a truly old man. No leg hair.
This is an awesome picture of Michael Jackson, I believe at Disney World, with Goofy holding a revolver.
Hell yeah! In front of Big
Yeah,
Thunder
this-
Mountain.
Yeah, this is pretty dope.
Yeah, I think he's got black legs.
I'm
That's why
trying-
he never shows them.
yeah,
There he
I'm
does,
trying
yeah.
to find. Okay, here we go. I'm putting this up so everybody can see it.
I don't think he bleached his legs.
He's got really.
He had leg bleaching money.
But look, he's got.
Why not do the whole thing?
Because they're probably just lazy.
You know, like I'm not. Look, I'm a regular old white dude, but when you look at this photo, and I'll go back to it. When you look at this photo, I mean, the guy looked great. If he'd have just stayed like that, great. You're a handsome, right?
Well, he had surgery at that
but
point
still,
too.
like just
But
right
yeah,
there,
he went too far.
You look great.
Speaking of out of touch celebrities, there's I think it's Janet Jackson. I'm only saying Janet Jackson
Okay.
because they didn't grow up poor.
Yeah.
Like they're already. So there's an interview, some British television interview with this person, a celebrity, and the British interviewer mentioned something about electric bill. And then she's like, what? And then he's like, oh, I paid my electric bill, whatever. She's like, oh, you have to pay for your electricity here? In America, it's free. And
No way.
Yeah. And then look it up. And I saw it on TikTok.
I thought she didn't even live here. I thought she lived in England.
It's a celebrity that didn't know that that people paid for their electricity because that's something they never dealt with ever in their life, right? And so it's not even their fault. They just never. Someone was always.
It was Mariah Carey.
Oh, Mariah Carey. Okay.
Oh my God, she's so dumb. Here's the clip. I think I got this ready to play here. Let's see.
It's weird. I thought Mariah Carey grew up like.
She didn't grow up rich, but I mean, what? She got signed at
Okay, here we go.
18?
Yeah.
It's just been so long.
I have a to-do list. It's, again, nothing like that.
It's different.
Real different.
I don't think mine's that different than most.
Mine's stuff like buy eggs. you know? Buy
yeah.
eggs, pay bill.
Pay who? Bill who?
I know, so bill like a bill.
What is that? What do you?
Like electricity.
Oh, you
bill.
have to pay for that?
Yeah, I don't get it free.
In America, we get it free.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
You feel like you do, but you don't.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she
Oh
doesn't
my
pay her
God,
bills, bro.
dude.
Yeah, it's not even her fault. This is her
But
world.
still, like, how do you be that? How can you be that disconnected? Wouldn't that bother you?
I like that. That's what it fascinates. I'm like, this person has no
How
idea.
awesome is that you think your electricity's free? You're
Is
so
it
rich.
awesome, or is it also that
I love
you're
it.
also a
Yeah.
prisoner to it too? Because you can't.
You live in a different world
But
than
if
the rest
you
of us.
lose that, your skill level, like you have no skills. That it's giving me anxiety
She'll always be Mariah Carey. She needs no skills.
I
Yeah.
understand. I'm just saying, for me, I gotta have skills.
I like being disconnected, not knowing
Her
how.
skill is being a good singer.
No, I don't like that. Oh,
All right.
man.
We will see you in a minute.
All right.
I had a feeling it was Mariah because she
Yeah.
says stuff like that all the time.
I was thinking Mariah Carey, and then I was like, "How?"
she's
I thought
trolling.
because I was thinking that maybe Janet Jackson. She's just like her family is always famous, so therefore is like
They grew up in poverty even when they were kids.
they did, but they started in show business, and like maybe
Yeah.
it's just something. She was never out on her own young. She was like as soon as she came of age, she was like singing already. But Mariah Carey, like she lived in a she never heard her parents talk about paying the bills. Like,
Do your kids know about
Yeah.
bills?
Maisie, okay, we can
Well,
talk.
yeah, I
expect
bitch
Maisie
about
to-
it. I'm like, we have to pay for this.
Sam, you
shut
don't
the damn door.
You don't understand. Maisie yells at me about buying stuff, and she's like, "You don't waste all the money. You can't waste all the money." She has anxiety that Andrea has about money already, and they yell at me. She's like, "You can't buy that. Don't spend all the money."
Oh no, that's she's got the mentally ill cheap.
She's mentally ill cheap.
My son only, but they don't know if it's expensive or what. They have nothing to base it off of. But they understand that you have to pay. Although, if I ask my sons, you have to pay for, they'd know water because Crystal bitches about the filling the bathtub. Yeah. But probably not like the trash.
Oh yeah, we should go to lunch.
Okay, guys, I guess we're going to lunch, and then we'll be back in a bit. Thanks for hanging out with us today. And, but we will be back a little before 1 or right around 1.